Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Jacob's Eating a Slim Jim. Just kidding. Welcome to the Half Brothers Podcast, Ep.6. Folks, Jacob was about to do the intro, stuffed his mouth full with a meat stick, and now he's drinking Red Bull.
Yep.
It's 10:30 in the morning. So I got coffee, he's got Red Bull, and I think I'm going to switch to the energy drink after the coffee, but I like to start with the coffee first to tell myself I'm only going to have one cup of coffee. Then I proceed to have hundreds of milligrams of caffeine. So, Jacob, I took over the intro for you.
I appreciate that.
How's it going,
I was not
man?
making it in time. It's going good.
Tell us about where you were eating, since you're always eating on this podcast.
I am eating an Archer Country Archer Provisions mini beef stick. It is grass-fed organic beef. It's incredible. These are great.
Amazing. Now, when they say organic beef, what does that mean?
I actually don't. I added organic. I don't know that it says that.
Okay.
It just says grass-fed beef.
And then when they say grass-fed,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
It means the cows aren't locked in cages and just pumped full of steroids to get them to grow. They're actually out on the range eating grass.
So these like cows that are jacked, they're like in shape?
They're like real cows. Like if you were to go to like your local like farm and see a cow walking around the pasture, that's the cow.
Okay, but what about the ones at the local McDonald's?
Those are the ones that are in cages pumped full of steroids. So like maybe if you're trying to make some gains, maybe those ones are better because you can get some of them steroids that they got. Like maybe some of that'll just transfer to you, but
This is a comedian's worst nightmare when the guy doesn't get the joke.
yeah.
The joke was that you said you can get cows at your local farm. I said you can find them going to your local McDonald's.
I get it now. Get it now.
Because I'm a cow and I go to McDonald's. But, that was probably a mean joke. And I hope I lose my job for that. But, I love how you stuck to the mission. You were so in the zone. You were so on mission. Like, no, I got to tell the truth about this. That you were like, we're going to stick to this. Which I appreciate because I have a new coworker. And he's all about nutrition and wellness. And he knows it all. So I'm learning a lot from him. And he's saying a lot of things you've been telling me for years. But you tend to listen to someone when they're not your family,
We're not wrong.
No, I'm just kidding. I listen to Jacob. Jacob's very smart. He doesn't
listen to me. He's lying to all of you.
10 years. I do listen to Jacob. Jacob is very smart. Just so you know, folks, that is not a creepy thing that he's asking me. The rope is not used for anything weird or anything, that would be harming myself. So
follow
let's clarify.
me on Instagram and you'll understand what I'm talking about.
There we go. Why don't you explain it real quick? Because like the people on my, sort of my world that are listening, they don't know what you do with a rope, and now they're probably really curious. Jacob, what do you do with a rope all the time?
I tie this knot in it, and then I jump up. Never mind.
He gets a stool?
I swing it around, and it's a very low impact way to like.
Are you Indiana Jones?
Yeah, I'm trying to be, dude. I'm trying to be. Give me a couple more years, and I'll be swinging this thing around like I am.
No, but this rope does help with your physicality, right? It's like
yes. Honestly, I feel like I have gotten significantly more athletic since using the rope.
Amazing.
Like every time I step on the soccer field, I am the second fastest person on the soccer field, and the first fastest person on the field is on my team.
That's incredible. Well, next time I come to Akron, let's do some rope stuff. That sounds weird. And then if you come to New York, you can bring the ropes with you. I'm sure TSA will be like, they won't even question the ropes in the bag.
I mean, they're not long enough for me to do anything crazy with them.
I'm going to leave that there. But what were you going to say about your shirt? It's purple.
Yeah, it's my new team's jerseys. We got some jerseys. You see the
I
nice
love it.
badge right there? Good News SC.
I love it, dude. That's sick, bro. Dude, that's actually super sick. I need to join, like, now that my hip is, like, starting to heal and recover, I'm back in the gym, doing some, like, basic movements, like, all body weight, really, but, like, using their elliptical and their bike. So I have been listening to you. I'm not doing any crazy heavyweight lifting, Not that I can anyway. I'm too weak. But I want to join. My goal is, by the end of this year, to join an MMA gym so I can be a part of some sport.
You're trying to go to the UFC?
No, I'm just trying to make sure that these crackheads don't take my wallet on the subway. But yeah, man. So real quick, how is soccer going? Any updates? Not like 20 minutes this time, but
yeah, that was crazy. I couldn't believe I did that.
No, but we do want to hear though. Now we're invested. Are there any updates in the soccer league? Any quick drama going on right now, or was it a pretty good, pretty chill week?
All right, I'll make this as short as I can.
Okay.
The team that beat us last session for this team, the good team, the crack team, we tied them last weekend, so we didn't lose. They're still not a good team. I don't understand why we can't beat them. My other two teams that play at a different facility both made the playoffs. One of us got the 4th seed. One of us got the 2nd seed. My co-ed team at that facility is the one that got the 2nd seed, but we are the best team in our bracket by far.
Amazing.
All the teams that made the playoffs, we've scored double-digit goals against and didn't allow more than 5 goals. And the only team that we allowed 5 goals against was the team that we're playing this week because we just kind of stopped trying towards the end of the game, and we switched our goalie out. So
okay, were you ripping your goalie apart last week, or was that the other goalie?
No, he was just a fill-in goalie. We have the highest goals for and the least goals against, so we should win the championship in that bracket. And then the men's league, it's going to be tough. The 2 teams that we're not playing, they're both good teams, and we couldn't beat either of them. But the team that we are playing, we were beating, and they somehow scored 2 goals in the last 2 minutes. So it's like
amazing.
We should be able to make it to the championship in both leagues. Should be able to win it in one. So it's going pretty well.
Well, let's go. Good news, SC and
Disruptors.
And the Disruptors.
And then the last team's name is...
You got 3 teams?
Ligma.
You got 3 teams?
Yeah.
Dude, how much soccer do you play in a week? That's impressive.
3
I
nights.
respect it. Wow.
And then for 2 weeks, I'll be playing 4. Because there's an overlap between us finishing at Lodi and the season starting for outdoor at Pinnacle. So I'll be playing 4 nights.
You're 26?
Yeah.
Don't ever quit, man. Stay mobile, because that's amazing that your body.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Exactly. Or for me, if you use it, you bruise it. And if you don't use it, you still lose it. So anyway, well, here's the thing. I don't know if there's something you notice about me right now that might be relevant to the podcast today.
Your new hat.
It's actually a very old hat. Yeah, no, I was just saying, maybe there's something else. If you're watching, guys, if you're watching this, you can.
You guys
see
know what
he's
talking about? I got no idea.
It's like Blue's Clues. You just ask for a response. Hey, kids, do you know what he's talking about?
Let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah. No, folks, we're going to dedicate today's episode to the WWE, formerly known as the WWF for some of you older heads out there.
Yeah.
But Jake and I, as long as we've been, cognizant, is that the word?
Conscious,
breathing air, understanding what world we're in. It's been called the WWE, and we love it. We're obsessed with it. And recently, the world has been shocked by something that's taken place in the WWE. Jacob, what happened?
2 boneheads could not have been more wrong.
So wrong.
If you watched, it might have been the last episode. It was the last episode. It was right before Elimination Chamber happened, right before the earth-shattering moment. And we both said that CM Punk was going to win the Elimination Chamber.
And we were close.
We were close. But stupid Seth Rollins had to be a little punk-ass.
Yeah. That was crazy, man. That was crazy.
And then the one and only, the 20-year babyface, John Cena, had to turn heel. And let me tell you guys this. I'm here for it. I love it. But somebody else is very upset about it.
I am here for it now. But, Jake, why don't you tell them what happened when that happened? Because I was watching. I want to hear from your perspective, and then I'll tell from my perspective. Because I'm sitting here in the living room with my roommates. One of my roommates loves WWE. He's watched it his whole life. The other one has never, ever watched wrestling in his life, and we had to keep explaining it to him. And then he was like, well, isn't it fake? Isn't it scripted? Like, dude, shut up. You don't understand.
Have you ever watched a Marvel movie?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That's real.
Jeez, they don't get it. This is it's a drama. It's a story. It's entertainment. Chill out, dude.
Yes.
Good Lord. And all these dudes could still kick your butt. So when people are like, oh, wrestling's fake, they're not real fighters. Oh, dude, they will destroy you. Those moves are real.
They are real.
Some of the punches, they're not fake, clearly. Some of the other things. But when you jump off of a ladder onto a wrestling mat, how do you fake that?
Yeah.
They're not on ropes. This isn't Broadway.
There's a lot of guys who can't take a lot of gas off their punches. Like, Sheamus is notorious for, he's going to hit you hard no matter what. Like, if you're in a match with Sheamus, you're getting jacked up because he's going to hit you hard. He's just not good at pulling his punches.
No.
And there's a couple things, when people say wrestling is fake, it really irks me because it's just such an ignorant thing to say. And I feel like I sound like such a dweeb saying that, but I don't even care.
Dweebs run this place.
Yeah. because there was one clip I posted on, and I still get likes on it. It was literally like over a year ago. It was when CM Punk and Drew McIntyre had their match at Hell in a Cell. I was like, are you seriously going to sit here and tell me that, like, wrestling is fake? Like, you're going to sit here and tell me that it wouldn't hurt to, drop kick and land flat back on some steel steps, or to have your spine land on the corner of those steel steps? So you're going to tell me that wouldn't hurt? That's fake. They CGI'd that. No, like, come on, that would still hurt. And then if anybody who is a wrestling fan, you know what I'm talking about. AD McDonough, a couple weeks ago, did a moonsault off the ropes onto Otis. Otis didn't make a great catch, and JD kind of went right over him and hit his back on the announce table, punctured his lung with his 7th rib. Like, literally just, you see his head snap back and everything. It's just the freaking match with a punctured lung.
Insane.
And I'm just like, people are going to sit here and say that this is fake. Like, Blue just punctured his freaking lung.
Yeah. It's insane. Did you just say the F word? We got to bleep that out. I don't know if
I said freaking.
Okay, great. I said freaking. Okay, wait, let's go back to the heel turn, though. I want to hear your perspective, your reaction, because did you watch it live, or did I text you and you had to go back?
I did watch it live.
Okay, tell me your reaction, and then also explain the text message and then the phone call that you got from me.
Yeah, so I was out with my friends at dinner, was watching it on my phone, so I was watching most of the match on my phone, and then as we were leaving, there were still 4 people left. It was still Logan Paul, Seth, Cena, and Punk. They were all still in the match when we were leaving. I get home, turn it back on my TV. Match is over. Cena and Cody are standing in the ring. So I'm like, okay, like something's about to go down right now. And then you started texting me, and I was like, I'm not even going to rewind it. I'm just going to keep it on so I don't miss this, because I don't want him to accidentally say something and spoil it. So I just kept it going live, kept watching from there. Cena and Cody are like, hey, yeah, it's going to be me and you at WrestleMania, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm so excited. Like, we're both baby faces. I love you. Which is just going to make it for a really boring match, dude. Like, there's a lot of hype, or there was a lot of hype until this happened, for the Gunther Jey Uso match, because Gunther's a really good heel. Jey Uso is a really good face. And for those of you guys that don't know, because I actually have asked a lot of people, literally everybody, even if you're not a wrestling fan, has seen this John Cena heel turn. And everybody, like, all my non-wrestling fan friends are like, what does that even mean?
It's huge.
I'm like, heel is bad guy, face is good guy. It's like, you're a baby face, you're a good guy. If you're a heel, you're a bad guy. John Cena has always been a baby face. So those of you who don't know, that's what it means. John Cena turned heel, he turned to a bad guy. He has never been a bad guy.
What's crazy, this is broken outside of the WWE world. It almost feels like, I mean, this is where, obviously it's a story, but this is where it kind of feels real sometimes. It's because WWE is so good, the entertainment is so good, and John Cena is such a public figure that now he's back at his roots. He does this. It feels like it feels like a national tragedy, It feels like a terrorist attack, or like a war started. Man, you know what? Those are way worse, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's just the magnitude of the reaction and the sadness and emotion that people are actually feeling. Like, this it almost feels like when LeBron left Cleveland the first time. That's what I was thinking.
I mean, it doesn't quite feel that way for me, because again, I was really excited about
sorry,
it.
back to you though.
I loved it. Like, as soon as The Rock came out, I was like, man, I hope Cena turns heel. I did not want Cody to turn heel. I hope it's Cena. I hope it's Cena. I hope it's Cena. When I heard The Rock's music, I was like, please be Cena turning heel. Because I think I sent you it, but I did see something on Instagram that said there are major plans for the main event for WrestleMania to be Cody versus Cena, and one of them is definitely turning heel. So as soon as I saw that Cena won, I was like, okay, please tell me he's the one that's turning heel, because I don't want it to be Cody.
You texted me too right then. You said Cena's about to turn heel. I was like,
yeah.
Keep going though. I'll get to mine.
The Rock, he asked, the whole buildup was The Rock is asking Cody to sell him his soul. He was like, I want you to sell me your soul. I want you to be my champion. So then The Rock comes out and asks Cody. He was like, Cody, what's your decision? Are you going to be my champion? Or are you going to sell me your soul? Cody says no. And then Cody goes, hey, Rock, F off.
He said, Rock, go freak yourself.
Yeah, he said, go freak yourself.
Which the memes for that have been incredible, by the way, all over Instagram and TikTok. So funny.
And then Cena comes over, hugs him, and then just gets this mean look on his face. And instantly, I'm just cheesing. I'm like, let's go, dude. Let's go. It's about to happen. And The Rock gives him one of these. It's like, and then throws up like a peace sign, and John Cena kicks him in the nuts. Cody takes his Rolex off. It's we know it's fake. We know it's scripted. His watch fell off. No, he takes his Rolex off. Cena picks it up, punches him in the face with it, is holding him down. For whatever reason, they let Travis Scott go in there with absolutely no training. They didn't teach him, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. And he slaps the holy hell out of Cody Rhodes. Gives him a black eye and bursts his eardrum because he doesn't know how to work somebody.
He hit him so hard, dude. That was even if you're not trained though, you should know not to do that.
There's a lot of rumors saying that they're gonna have they're gonna have Travis be in the match so Cody can get his get back.
I hope, dude. I would love to see that. I would love to see Cody. I mean, the thing about Travis, his behavior is just ridiculous. When I used to work for a big company that does concerts,
and he was smoking in the ring.
Yeah, he doesn't understand. He got arrested at his concert. He got arrested at his own concert for inciting violence in his crowd. He's done it multiple times. And the company I used to work for, the big company that everyone knows that runs all the concerts, they almost broke contract with him and were like, dude, if you do this again, you're not getting paid tonight and we'll take you off stage. So he's just ridiculous. He might be the dumbest celebrity ever. Super talented.
Makes
super
great
catchy music. Great at what he does. But as far as his just like IQ, or maybe it's just his maybe he is smart and he just doesn't care. He just has that arrogance, that attitude, but he does a lot of stupid things and he hasn't suffered a ton of consequences yet because he's just so good at what he does. But I promise you, if Cody Rhodes gets his hands on him, that boy will never, ever do something that stupid to a wrestler again.
Never.
But I mean, the adrenaline was going. Like, part of me is like, maybe he got caught up in the moment and like maybe hopefully he apologized, like maybe behind the scenes or something. Or maybe I heard he's also training for in-ring combat.
He's going to be in that match. He's going to be in that match for sure.
That's crazy. So you were happy though. You were very happy. You saw it coming. You saw it coming because you saw a tweet or an Instagram and you were ready to go.
Yeah, I was very happy that it happened. And like you called me afterwards, and I was explaining to you, you were like, bro, why are you so happy? Like, why is this a good thing? And I was like, so here's it. Like, John Cena has always been a babyface. Like, his entire career has been a babyface, and now like he's ending his career. Like, he's not gonna be involved anymore. Like, one more year, he's done. That's it.
I did hear someone say they don't think it's his last year.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And they said because it might have been
they think he's going to keep going with this heel turn and be like, yeah, you know what, I lied.
Heels lie. Exactly. And I think it's Ari, the guy that covers UFC as well. I can't remember. But yeah, I was like, wow, I would love to see. Yeah, that guy. So I was like, man, another year of Cena, that'd be amazing. Because it would be dope, too, if next WrestleMania was his last thing,
Which
what I mean?
I think it's definitely possible because like you can't go out on a non-wrestle. Like if you're John Cena, like WrestleMania has to be your last thing. But yeah, you called me and I was like, Cody's always been a baby face. Like, I mean, John Cena's always been a baby face. This is his last year. Like, you got to do something to mix it up to build some excitement. And they're trying to build Cody as like the next John Cena. Cody's supposed to be the perennial baby face that like is always the good guy. The fans can always get behind. The kids can always get behind. Like, he's supposed to be, that next, like, forever baby face. Like, you can't have him turn heel a year into his title reign. Like, it just wouldn't make any sense. So, like, it had to be John. So, like, that's why I was super happy that it was. And it just makes it, to me, it makes it more interesting. Like, Cody being heel, like, I've seen Cody be heel in other promotions, like, when he was in New Japan, like, he turned heel in New Japan. And, like, he's a decent heel, but I think he's a much better face. And the promos that he is cutting right now, incredible, dude. He's doing so good. Like, this is, without a doubt, like, I don't understand why, like, the booking with him, the booking in WWE over the last year has been great. Like, there's been a lot of great booking that they've done. But up until they had him in Solo, there was, the whole Cody being WWE champion was not super interesting up until Solo. And with Solo, it still wasn't that great.
Sure.
But then when they got to Kevin Owens, it was like, okay, this is good stuff. You got to tune into this. And then they went right from Kevin Owens to now him and The Rock feuding. I mean, him and Cena with The Rock involved, and who else knows who's going to be involved. Like, there's so many rumors. I've sent you a bunch of stuff on like the fan speculation and fan booking and all that, and it's going to be good.
Well, if I can jump in here, I want to share my side real quick. So, and then I want to get to the phone call because I did call Jacob because I was devastated and my emotions were running wild all over the place. I didn't know what to do with myself. We're going to pause real quick. There's like a lot of background noise, and your mic won't stop for some reason.
A lot of background noise.
Yeah, it's like it was doing like a fuzzy thing. Okay, it actually just chilled out. Okay, now it's good. Now it's good. I don't know. Something was happening there. Okay, we're going to jump back in. And yeah, so I was devastated. Here's the thing. I mentioned this already, but when I was in 2010, I've been a huge Cleveland sports fan my whole life. It's not been a fun time with Cleveland sports until 2016. But in 2010,
still is not a fun time, except for now because the Cavs are
looking
lighting
right,
the world on fire.
Which we will do a sports pod eventually, maybe when NBA madness comes around in the playoffs. But here's the thing: in 2010, I think it was July. No, when was it? It had to be like July 10th, 2010. I think is the date. There was something on ESPN with a man named LeBron James, and he had this big announcement called The Decision. And I sat there and I watched that. I watched my hero, my idol, say this fall, man, this is tough.
Were you
this
at
fall,
my house?
I'm going to take my talents to South Beach. No, I was in my living room, but we
Okay.
hung out shortly after because you and I were kind of like sobbing and like mad
Yeah.
together. We're like, man, LeBron, he's a traitor. They're like burning his jerseys and stuff. I can't believe I burned his jersey. That'd be worth a lot of money.
But I got
now.
rid of it, and now I'm really upset I did.
Yeah, I know. We were so dumb. We had no idea. How'd our parents let us do that? They should have called child services on that. You're going to let these kids burn a multi-million-dollar jersey? Anyway, so all I had at that time was, yeah, was it? Oh, gosh. Oh, my God. I'm like, Jacob, that is you. That's a you problem. No, but all I had in that moment when LeBron left me was John Cena. John Cena was the only constant in my life, sports-wise, that I could look to and say, I have a champion. Okay, so I love John Cena. He was always a good guy. He was always there to come in and, make us feel good on Monday Night Raw, on SmackDown, on, at WrestleMania, at all these events. So that I was like 13 years old, I think, when LeBron left. So now, as a 28-year-old man, getting back into the WWE the past few years, because I really have like the storyline with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and The Rock and all stuff. I think they've done a great job. They pulled me back in. And I was really happy to see Cody win it last year. And this year I've been so happy because it's John's retirement tour. And I wanted a big, good send-off, like, you're the greatest of all time. You've always been the good guy. We love you. And yeah, Cody's a good guy too. Two baby faces at WrestleMania has worked in the past, but it was a different time with The Rock and Stone Cold, how that whole thing was built up. But anyway, so I'm watching the Elimination Chamber, and I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like John Cena's going to win because he has been very part-time this year. He's been at like one event, two events maybe, and only wrestled once. So they're probably going to give it to CM Punk, and then they'll make John Cena really earn it. That way there's more build to WrestleMania. Like, there has to be more build to his title match with Cody. There has to be. So that's what I was thinking. And then I see Seth Rollins take that cheap shot on CM Punk. What do they call that kick again?
The stomp.
The stomp. Okay, yeah.
It was called the curb stomp, and then Vince watched the movie that the curb stomp is from and said he couldn't call it that anymore.
Okay, well, he got stomped. And John Cena, look in his eyes. John Cena is not one to capitalize on a cheap shot or something like that usually. He's always been about hustle, loyalty, respect, integrity. All these great characteristics, but he sees that moment, pulls in CM Punk, and pins him immediately. And even though I was
he puts him in the STF.
Oh, that's right. You're right. I'm sorry. He kicked out earlier when he tried to pin him. I'm trying to see. My mind's blurring. He put him in the STFU, which is what it's called. I don't know why they, screw the PG area on that. It's called the FU and the STFU. I'm sorry, kids.
I think they're going to bring the FU back. I think they're going to start calling it that now that he's a heel. They're not going to call it the AA anymore.
Yeah, good. Attitude adjustment. That sounds like you're putting time out.
Yeah.
Okay, so John Cena submits him. And I'm like, wow, that's a weird way to win. But John Cena won. I'm hype. They're coming out. Cody and now I'm like, okay, Cody has to turn heel. Like, this is John's year. Cody's going to turn heel. He's going to give it to Rock. And then when he doesn't turn heel, I'm like, oh, they're going to try to build a double babyface WrestleMania. Well, we'll see how this works. But, okay, well, this will be fun. I'm like, there's got to be a twist at some point. I get a text message from Jacob that says Cena's about to turn heel. I look at my phone. I literally am watching The Rock, John Cena, Travis Scott, and Cody Rhodes in the ring talking. I look at my phone, and he says John Cena's going to turn heel. I said, bro, no. I texted him. I said, bro, no. and I'm watching. A minute later, 2 minutes later, it hadn't happened yet. Jacob texted me before it happens. 2 minutes later, John Cena daps up Cody Rhodes like, yeah, man, you showed him.
Mean mugging.
Gone, dude. I was heartbroken. I literally was devastated. It felt like LeBron James had left the Cleveland Cavaliers for the first time. I was devastated. I was like, how am I supposed to root for John Cena, the heel, against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania? I called Jacob, devastated. He consoled me, comforted me. And the next morning, I watched it over and over and over, and I realized, oh my gosh, this is genius because I'm hooked. So now I get it. Now I'm like, wow. And obviously you see the reaction of the whole world. It's incredible. It's genius. And I thought no one was ever going to make a better storyline than Vince McMahon. But shout out to Triple H for following in Vince's footsteps of doing the unexpected.
Triple H is so good, dude.
I love Triple H. He's crushing it. And now, also, I just want to say this. As someone who's come back to the WWE recently as a fan, Cody Rhodes, I really like him. He's a likable guy, and he's Dusty Rhodes' son. So it's always been like great to root for him. And the finish story was really cool. I did feel like it was stale after that.
Yeah.
But dude, I watched SmackDown last night, bro. Angry Cody against John Cena. Oh, I'm like rooting for Cody now.
I'm here for it, dude.
I love Cena, and I wanted to see that, but I'm kind of want like Cody to just be like, F you, you're not getting this.
I'm
17.
very, very torn on how this is going to go.
I know,
really
dude.
don't know what's going to happen. Like, when the heel turn first happened, I was like, oh, Cena's winning it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
But then Cody's been cutting these crazy promos where I'm like, man, like,
you saw the one last night where he
did.
Beat up The Miz? Well, let's do
this. I actually didn't see him beat up a Miz. I only saw the clip of him saying, like, John, you going to be there next week on Monday? Well, I'll be there too.
Yeah. Well, let's do this because we've kind of gone long on this, but we will do WrestleMania predictions and a WrestleMania episode closer to that point in time. And I think you have someone you want to feature on that episode.
I do.
Which would totally love to.
Our number one fan, my boy Nutter. Actually, you know what? This episode's going out Monday, so I can say this. He's got a surprise birthday party today. He's a little young. He's turning 21. Today's his 21st, or his 21st birthday was Thursday. So today is his surprise birthday party. His mom and sister reached out to me and were like, yo, we're throwing him a surprise party. Invite all the soccer people. So I was like, all right, I'm on it. So we're all heading over there later. But Nutter, appreciate you, brother, for listening. And also, real quick shout out to our boy Silas. He is our one and only Spotify listener. So
do we only have one?
Been letting him down. The Spotify episodes get like no listens,
okay,
man. It's literally just him.
That's okay. It'll grow.
Yeah.
Millions will be listening soon. Well, here's the other thing. Shout out to Cameron Overstreet. It's his birthday today. I got to give him a call.
Ooh.
Yeah, shout out to Big Daddy Cam. Cookie.
Big Cam. My church buddy. Cam goes to church with me on occasion.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, you better. Cameron, you know what? The best way to celebrate I think he's 31 now.
Dang.
31st birthday.
Cam, you old as dirt, bro.
Yeah, you're getting. Oh, no, he's looking good, though. No homo, pause. But go to church with Jacob. The Lord will bless your birthday. So let's do this. Let's kind of dive into this because this is such a great rivalry building up. I wanted to first talk about best rivalries of the WWE, and then later Jacob wanted to talk about our Mount Rushmores. Okay, so let's, Jacob, I'm going to start with you.
Should we start with, like, in our opinion, the best rivalry, or like work
this
our
is
way
all
to it?
opinion? I mean, I would say, like, how about we can work towards the best, but if you had like top 3 rivalries, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay,
yours.
Underrated one. Don't think a lot of people are going to see this coming. Don't really know that I can consider it a rivalry, but they had 2 Mania matches, and both of them were incredible. Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker.
Amazing.
Both of their Mania matches were absolutely incredible. The first time they did it, Undertaker comes, down from under the stage, like he's coming from hell. Shawn Michaels comes from, higher up, like he's ascending from heaven. And you thought he was going to win the match. He was so close to winning the match. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, not super rivalry, but they had some incredible matches together. So that's what I'm going with my first
Those were
pick.
amazing matches, and I really wanted Shawn Michaels. Was it 3 times or 2 times at WrestleMania?
It was at least 2 times that I watched. They might have had another match earlier
I think it
on.
might have been 2. But, dude, that second one, though, I really thought Shawn was going to win it. I thought Shawn was going to break the streak. And honestly, Shawn would have been a much better person to break the streak than frickin' Brock Lesnar, in my opinion. But amazing matches. I mean, even just being able to get some sweet chin music on the frickin' Undertaker that's so much taller. is just incredible. His whole body is like pointing upward when he does the sweet chin music on him. But shout out to HBK.
Yeah. I can't remember who they said was gonna break the streak, but that person turned it down. That person said no. I can't remember.
Was it
like
Kane?
No.
Because it would have been awesome if Kane did it, his brother.
It wasn't Kane. It was either like Edge or Roman, I want to say. Like it was one of those two. And they said no. They were like, no, I'm not being the guy. There's no reason. I don't need it. It was Edge. He said, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't need to be the person that breaks the streak. Like, it's not happening.
What's crazy is Undertaker, Mark Calloway is his name, right? Mark. He was just so chill about it. He said he didn't think it should have been Brock, but he was going to listen to his boss. Yeah. And I was like, bro, no. You should have said no. Because it would have been cool to have someone new beat him, like the next generation.
It did nothing for Brock. Like, Brock was already super over.
Dude, Brock's a chump, man. I'm so sick of him. Anyway.
Yeah, what's your next one? Not in anymore. Why don't you go? Well, I think of another one.
I'll go, yeah. So I wrote some down just to be a little prepared. And I will say, my era is more, 99 to like 2010. Jacob has covered all of it pretty much. He's been a ride or die fan ever since. So for me, I'm going to go with what I was just talking about. Kane and The Undertaker was just an incredible rivalry and story overall, because it's not just a rivalry. But watching The Undertaker, when I was very little, and I shouldn't have been watching, but watching The Undertaker and seeing this man that is like otherworldly, like untouchable, like supernatural, no one can beat him, no one can touch him, no one scares him, he's so scary himself, and then seeing someone bring out real fear and surprise in Undertaker's emotions. When Kane walks out for the first time and they say, this is your brother that has waited to see you for so long, Undertaker is clearly, I don't know if frightened is the word, but he's in shock. He thought his brother was dead. And so they kind of take like a supernatural storyline and make it a little bit more relatable, because it's like real life, like, we're brothers. You can relate to like having brothers and not seeing your brother in a while, or even in a movie if like someone thinks their family member's dead but they're not. Like, it's crazy. So it was an amazing story. And then there's just amazing matches, because now it's someone that's like equal to The Undertaker, wrestling the Phenom, and they're just as big as each other. And the matches were incredible. Now, I found this out, but I did not realize it. Kane and The Undertaker, their matches were incredible. Every single match you watch, it's like 50-50 the whole time. I didn't know this. I would have guessed that like they won each one like probably 50% of the matches. The Undertaker won 75% of the time against Kane in their one-on-one matches, okay? But you wouldn't have thought that watching all of it, because they were such good matches. Mm-hmm. Like, they really, no one had ever kicked out after being tombstoned by The Undertaker. Kane was the first one to do that. And so Kane, and I was watching a documentary on him actually not too long ago, that the A&E has a really cool series called Rivals. Rivals, you should definitely watch them. But it talked about how they kept that storyline for over 2 decades. And it starts with, the brother coming back from the dead, Kane. Then they have their rivalry. Big brother puts little brother in check. Little brother's trying to get in the head of big brother. All this stuff. Kind of like us when we rival each other, and then I set you on fire and then you bury me alive. Things like that, right? Yeah. Typical brother stuff.
Yeah.
But they did such crazy things with the characters, and over time helped them evolve. Undertaker was then, the American BA on the motorcycle. Kane took his mask off later. But all throughout 20-plus years they're wrestling each other, it was always so entertaining. So Kane and The Undertaker, number 3 for me. I'll go back to you for your number 2.
So you got 3?
I have top 3. That's my 3. And I guess I don't have to be in a particular order, but I do have a number 1 for sure.
Okay, well, I wrote down a couple while I was just sitting there thinking.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll give you 2 of the weaker ones so I can get into my top 3. Honorable mention goes to the New Day and the Usos. They've had some great matches. They were kind of trading the tag team championships back and forth for a while there. So they're definitely honorable mention. And another one that I got to give honorable mention to, it's just not quite up there for me, but it was still a very good rivalry, is Cena and CM Punk. Definitely was a great rivalry. Definitely, some of the most iconic stuff to happen in WWE. But for me, it's just not. It can't make that top 3 list. So next one, I got top 4, because the other 3 on here are just
go for it,
incredible. Next one I'm going with, this is going to be number 3 for me, just because I didn't get to witness it, and I think it's going to be higher on your list. If it's not on your list, I'll be shocked. Rock and Stone Cold. just they put the WWE or WWF at the time into a new stratosphere. Like The Rock and Stone Cold, what they were doing together, that was what like really made it. It's like the WWE was like the big wrestling promotion, but that was what made it to like everybody's watching it. Like everybody's watching The Rock and Stone Cold do their thing, and like you were saying, like they were able to make two baby faces work in Mania. So to me, that has to be number 3, only because I didn't get to witness it. It wasn't something that I actually got to watch and be excited about. But they're two of the, biggest legends of all time. Stone Cold had a match like last year, the year before, and it was great. And, The Rock was in last year, is in now. So they have to be on the list. So they're going to be my number 3. And there's not a whole lot I can say about it, again, just because I didn't actually get to witness it.
Sure. I appreciate that, though. You put them in there.
But my next 2.
Yeah, let me hear the rest. Why don't you go? Why don't you go now that you have them?
Number 2, and to me, this one, it was hard for me to put it at 2, but it's just because of nostalgia reasons that I had to put it at number 2. It's going to be Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Their rivalry over the years has been incredible, and eventually there's going to be some huge storyline between the two of them, and it's just going to be next worldly. Like, I wasn't watching when the Shield debuted and everything, but I went back and watched a lot of that stuff, and it's just absolutely incredible, man. So like Shield debuts, they're, lighting the world on fire. Seth turns on the Shield, hits Roman in the back with the chair. Seth becomes champion, gets hurt, misses Mania, has to see Roman win the championship at the Mania that he was supposed to defend that championship. And then next year, Roman's going after Brock to win the championship, and Seth becomes the first person to cash in Money in the Bank and win at WrestleMania. Not only does he win, the match isn't over, so he makes it a triple threat match and pins Roman for the title. And then later on down the line, they start feuding again when Roman's in like this like, next level, like untouchable, like he is, like the needle mover shirt that he was wearing, he was the needle mover, like he was the face of the WWE, and him and Seth start feuding again. And they have a great match at the Royal Rumble to where Seth is actually the only person that wins against Roman in his entire, 4-year reign, but he wins via DQ, so he doesn't get the belt because Roman just chokes him out and doesn't stop. Like Seth is on the ropes and Roman doesn't let go. And he comes out in the Shield theme, like they're having a match against each other, and Seth comes out with Roman's old entrance music in the Shield theme. Like, it was so good. And then last year at Mania, they just made it so good with, with Seth coming out to help Cody, and Roman has this chair and can, finish Cody off and bury him and keep the title. But he sees Seth standing there and he's like, you know what? I got to get my get back. Smashes Seth in the back with the chair. Cody comes up, wins the match. Like, incredible rivalry between the two of them. They're still feuded. And then at this year's Royal Rumble, like, they all get thrown out at the same time. They all start beating him, Punk and Roman start beating each other up. And then Seth stomps him onto the steps. This Monday on Raw, steel cage match, CM Punk, Seth Rollins.
Amazing match, by the way, dude.
Amazing match.
One of the best matches I've seen since my childhood.
So good. One of my buddies texted me and was like, this is a Mania match. I was like, exactly, bro. That's what we need on Raw. We need the world title to start changing hands on Raw again like it used to. We need these big matches on Raw. People don't watch the weekly episodes because they don't do this stuff anymore, or they weren't doing this stuff anymore. But since Triple H has been back, they've been doing more and more of it. 2 weeks ago on Raw, the women's world title changed hands, so you got to watch Raw.
Amazing match.
And it was an amazing match. And then this week on Raw, the steel cage match between CM Punk and Seth Rollins, which was incredible. Like CM Punk hits the stomp on Rollins. Rollins hits the GTS on CM Punk multiple times. And then he's just sitting there waiting for Punk to get up. Roman drags him out of the cage and starts beating the crap out of him. Like, oh, dude, it was their rivalry is so good. I'm a big Roman Reigns guy, so I love their
I
rivalry.
do love Roman Reigns as well. And it's just so amazing that he has cancer still, right? Like, he's been doing all this with cancer.
So that's something I kind of go back and forth on. I don't know if he's still... I don't know a whole lot about leukemia.
Okay, that's okay.
But it's kind of like, it's iffy to me. It's a little suspect that when he dropped the title because of the leukemia thing, he goes and films a movie with The Rock.
Yeah, I think
I was thinking
you can make a lot more accommodations. You can, well, no, I think, I don't want to speculate on that. You can make a lot more accommodations on the Hollywood side. A lot of actors have cancer in their filming and stuff. But back to what you were saying about the Shield and everything. I want to go back and rewatch that stuff because I wasn't too aware of it either. Can you watch it on is on Peacock or
I
like?
watch it on YouTube.
Oh, just YouTube? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and catch up because I am all in on wrestling, bro. But you're absolutely right. Raw has been awesome lately. SmackDown's been awesome lately. I'm like all in. I love watching it now.
Yeah. And
Anyway,
like a
back
lot of
to you.
people are not like they don't like this whole Tiffany Stratton Charlotte Flair thing. I'm
Love it.
here for it, bro. I think it's so good, especially because they were having a hard time getting Tiffany to be a babyface, but now it's been really easy for them just because Charlotte is so easy to dislike. So now it's been super easy for them to put her over as a babyface. And I'm a big fan of Tiffany Stratton. Maybe just because she's hot, but she's also a very good wrestler. Like, she's a very good wrestler.
Dude, all the women are such great wrestlers, and I'm gonna be honest, like Elimination Chamber, the women's portion of it was,
Very good.
I think personally, more entertaining overall than the men's.
Jade
And like,
coming out and looking like she's about to beat up Liv Morgan. Also, big Liv Morgan fan. And it's less because she's hot. It's more because I used to, when I was back in my lifting days, I used to listen to, it's called, I think it's just Joe DeFranco's Industrial Strength Shows, is what it's called. It's this trainer out of New Jersey, and he used to do a podcast all the time. And he originally was the guy that trained Liv Morgan. He's actually Triple H and Stephanie McMahon's personal trainer.
sick.
Yeah, so he does his own podcast, but he was the guy that like found Liv Morgan, talked to Triple H about her, and was like, "Hey, this girl wants to be in the WWE. Like, I told her I'd talk to you and try to get her a tryout." So he did. She makes it into the WWE, is a part of this faction where she's not gaining a lot of steam, and then out of nowhere, just like starts blowing up. She's great on promos. She is really good with the I don't have to speak stuff and still selling. Like, her reactions are very good. Like, I think that she is like, a lot of people are real high on Bianca Belair. I'm not real high on Bianca Belair because it always seems like she's acting. Like she doesn't really believe what she's saying. Like, it's not her actually saying these things. Liv Morgan is the opposite. Like, Liv Morgan, it seems like that is actually Liv Morgan. Like, that is actually how she feels. That is actually what she's thinking. That is actually how she's reacting. She is very, very good in ring, on the microphone, at everything she does. Liv is great. Super high on Liv Morgan. But my last one, greatest rivalry of all time. I think you can see this one coming.
Number one,
Number one. I'm gonna let you guess because I think you'll get it.
John Cena and Edge.
Dang, I'm kind of disappointed now. John Cena and Randy Orton, dude, has to be the greatest rivalry of all time. They've had so many championship matches. They've done so much good work together.
You're gonna hate this, man, but I missed a lot of that rivalry not watching because that was after 2010, right?
It started before 2010, but
It
like
started
a lot
before,
of
but
the
it got
heat was after the 20s. Yeah, but yeah, that rivalry was incredible, dude. Like, they've
Talk
done
about it.
so much good work together. Like, I remember I was in Cleveland. They were about to have a last man standing match at a pay-per-view, and this Cleveland show was right before that match was supposed to happen. And it was when Randy was doing the punt stuff. Cena's having a match with Mr. Kennedy, which, by the way, dude, Mr. Kennedy was super underrated. Mike comes down from the top.
He was awesome.
Yeah. Orton comes out of nowhere and starts beating the crap out of Cena, punts him, and then Cena's just like laying on the ground, and like, I'm there, so like I can't see what he's saying to him, but he's in his face and he's counting to 10 because like they're doing this last man standing match, and like it's whoever doesn't get up for a 10 count. And you know, like they've just done so much incredible stuff together over the years. And then like back in like the mid 2010s, so like 2015, 2016, they do a match to unify the belts, and Randy's supposed to go over on Cena and win the match, and he talks about how Cena's down on the mat, and he talks about how like Cena's down on the mat, and like Cena kind of taught him like, you don't always have to rush into these things. You don't know, like, when you know what's gonna happen, you don't have to rush the things. When you know you have the crowd and the cameras on you, and like you have everybody captivated, like you don't have to rush these things and just do it. So like he's supposed to win the match. The match is over at that point when he's climbing the ladder and he's about to go grab those belts. Like, he knows like, hey, he's not getting up. Like, he's not getting up. He's staying down there on the mat. And he goes up to the ladder, and then he takes like a step down and starts looking at Cena like he's about to go down there and keep beating him up. Like, they've done so much good work together. And like, when I was a kid, I genuinely thought Randy Orton was like a serial killer, like, because of like the work that him and Cena did together.
Yeah, and those kicks, everyone was like, JR was like, he's dead.
Did you see what he said on SmackDown 2 weeks ago? He said, "I'm about to show Kevin Owens that Pat McAfee is only the second best punter in the WWE."
Yeah. Yeah, that was
So
great.
good, dude.
I'm trying to remember.
I love Randy Orton.
No, I do too. I do remember because I'm looking up now. I'm trying to remember the matches. I remember the SummerSlam 2007 match. That was the first time that they fought, but it wasn't a huge rivalry yet. It was coming off the end of the John Cena Edge era, and that's kind of why like it's in my brain a little bit. And then I do remember the No Mercy in 2007. That was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, because Cena got injured. It was like 3 matches in one night.
Yeah.
Cena got injured. Randy Orton wins the title, and then loses. And then like wins. It was like so much. Yeah. Is that what? Did you mention that? Is that what you were talking about too? Because I was looking this up as you were talking.
Not that one though.
Okay, but that one was crazy. But yeah, that's a great choice though. I do need to go back and watch the stuff after 2010 because I never saw the Royal Rumble one you're talking about. I never saw that. The Hell in a Cell 2014 final chapter for now. I never saw that when it was the #1 contender for Brock.
Yep.
So I'll have to go back in that. So what was your favorite moment from one? If you could pick one moment from the two from that rivalry, your #1 rivalry, what would it be? And then I'll share my last few.
Honestly, from that rivalry, it'd probably have to be the Randy moment when he won the unification match. Like, I didn't think Randy was gonna win it, and he did. And just kind of, actually, you know what? I'm gonna throw a little bit of curveball here. It's gonna be outside of it. So like wrestling is, quote unquote fake. Like it's staged, they know what's going to happen, but it's the fact that these two guys are actually really good friends. And they've put on some incredible matches. They've done some incredible work together. And like they both talk about how much the other one has taught the other. So it's like the fact that they just have so much respect for each other and they've done all this incredible work and they sell it so well. Like they're the opposite of each other. Like Randy's, the Viper, the Slithery Snake, the Legend Killer, this, that, and the other. And, Cena's always been hustle, loyalty, respect. I'm a good guy. And now, again, they're still opposite of each other. Orton's a baby face. He's the guy that all the fans are behind. He's the guy that's always, giving the flowers to the crowd and, saying his praises to the crowd. And Cena is now the heel, I don't care what the fans want. I'm here for business. I'm winning 17. Everything they've done is just, it's just so good. Like I would not have been such a WWE fan if it wasn't for them too.
Yeah, no, that's a great one, and I need to go back and brush up on some of my history of that. So I'll give a few honorable mentions, and I'll give my top 2 because I already said 3. I think is Kane and the Undertaker. A few honorable mentions. I'll go with Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Just the amazing matches that they had, the back and forth when they would be best friends in DX and then not best friends. They hated each other. DX broke up. Triple H wanted to go do his own thing. And then Shawn Michaels had the back injury, comes back. DX is back together. And then DX crumbles again, and they hate each other again. Evolution, all that stuff. So that was really fun. Got to give a shout out to that. Another honorable mention I wanted to give was Randy Orton and Triple H. Had a good rivalry there after Evolution imploded. And I think that really helped build Randy up because that was before the Cena thing, but it helped kind of build Randy up into the superstar that he became. So those are a few. I'm trying to think if there was one more. I think Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio had a really fun rivalry, and it got so wild and crazy that they had a custody battle.
Custody battle for Dom.
That's insane.
And now Dom is like the reincarnation of Eddie Guerrero. It's so good.
That's amazing. Yeah, which, by the way, it was all fake, but I guess that was inspired by Eddie's personal life and some things going on there. But yeah, rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero. That was a great rivalry. I think for a minute there, Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, it could have been a fun rivalry. It had potential to be, but there was just so much drama outside of the world. But it was cool or outside of the WWE going on with their contracts and stuff. But it was cool when Brock and Goldberg came back like 12 years later and wrestled.
Yeah.
So I'll give that.
Squashes him.
Yeah, he like spears him like 25 times. It was incredible. So I'll give that. And then one more honorable mention. I just lost it. I guess, yeah, I would say RVD, Rod Van Dam, and Kane had a little rivalry in the 2000s. I think just for a year because they were tag team partners, and then Kane took off his mask, turned heel, and they had some back and forth for a minute. But number 2, I know we both got to go soon, but I'll go quick. Number 2, greatest rivalry of all time for me is John Cena and Edge, because it was just, this is where, John Cena is starting to build his reputation, and he's the doctor of thugonomics, and he wins his United States title, and then he eventually wins the WWE title. And so John Cena is like, building up or whatever, or was it? Yeah, he was United States, and then he became WWE champion like a few years later. And so now John Cena is like starting to become a superstar. He's like the baby face of the company, or starting to become that. And Edge is with Christian. If you remember, Edge and Christian were tag team partners for the longest time. And Edge now, just like anyone, wants to do his own thing, and he wants to become the world heavyweight title. So Edge is shooting for the world heavyweight title, not the WWE championship. So Cena's the WWE champion, and Edge does not have his sights on him. Edge wins the Money in the Bank. He's been talking about the world heavyweight title for so long, and now he wins the Money in the Bank match. He has the briefcase that he carries around all the time. And what really makes the character of Edge at the time kind of grow and soar is when him and Lita get together, because that was real. They were really together. There was really some drama behind the scenes between Matt Hardy, Lita, and Edge.
Yep.
And it's sunk into kind of, so like people talk about being fake and scripted, like, yeah, but that was also real. They really had a brawl between Matt Hardy and Edge,
yes,
and real punches were being thrown. Real arrests were made that night on live television. It was straight Jerry Springer in the WWE taking place.
Yes.
And Matt even called Edge by his name, Adam, because it was so real. He took the mic, said, "Adam, you're going to pay for this." And then he called Lita a very demeaning term, which, I get why he did at the time.
Who's going to be a hoe, so I couldn't blame Tammy.
Yeah. So anyway, so now Edge has his sights set on the world heavyweight title. He wins Money in the Bank. At some point, he can cash that in to get the world heavyweight title. Now, fast forward, Cena, I think it's the Elimination Chamber. It might have been the first Elimination Chamber match. I think it was. I might be wrong, but first Elimination Chamber match, John Cena gets beat up, bullied, like battered, but somehow still wins, and he's a D champion, right? D champion, he's all bloody. He is basically dead on the mat, and then Vince McMahon comes out, and it's like, no, this isn't over yet. And then you hear, "You think you know me, on this day," and then Edge comes running out with the briefcase, cashes it into Vince McMahon, and pins John Cena while he's already bloodied up and beaten, and steals the WWE title. Bro, no one saw that coming. Edge was not even looking at the WWE title. He said world heavyweight, world heavyweight, world heavyweight. And then, boom, he steals the title from John Cena. It was an incredible moment. It was so unexpected. Still to this day, one of the most unexpected moments ever. Just so surprised, right? And that rivalry from there on out, the Rated R Superstar against John Cena, it was just amazing. Every Monday night they would come back. The drama was amazing. They did some amazing Monday Night Raw title matches. A tables, ladders, and chairs match for the title where John Cena FUs Edge into 2 tables off of a ladder. It was like, maybe it was 1 table. I think it was 2, but my brain is, I'll have to go back and look. But anyway, that's number 2 for me.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. You remember those a little bit, right?
Oh, yeah. That's when I started watching, was Rated R Superstar. I remember, the whole revealing of the belt with the Rated R logo in it and everything. So, yeah, that was definitely up there.
Yeah, and I know we're running out of time.
Real quick, I want to interject. So, again, on Cena being the biggest babyface ever, Cena has won Money in the Bank 2 times, and both times that he has won Money in the Bank, he did not cash in like everybody else cashes in, where it's like, oh, here's an opportune moment for me to win the title. He tells the champion, "Hey, I'm cashing in on you. I want a match with you. I'm using this to make a match with you, and it's going to be at this event." It's never been, "Oh, let me go ahead and join this match real quick," or, "Oh, he's down and out. Let me come in and steal the title." It's always been, "Let me set up this match. I'm going to use my briefcase to set up this match with you, and it's going to be a fair fight."
For sure. And that's why it's so surprising to see him heel. It'll be crazy to see what he does this year, and I hope he brings back the Doctor of Thugonomics.
I hope so, too.
As a heel. So number 1, and we'll finish it off with this. Greatest WWE rivalry of all time, The Rock and Stone Cold, 100%.
I knew it. Let's go.
This is what got me into wrestling, was Stone Cold Steve Austin, just the Texas rattlesnake, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold says so. I remember being a 4-year-old in Arizona, in Tucson, Arizona, when I lived there, watching on TV this guy with, beautiful tan skin and an eyebrow raised super high, and then this bald white trash just doesn't give a damn about anything, Stone Cold. And they would do matches all the time, and their promos together. I mean, I remember them throwing each other in a river. The Rock threw Stone Cold off a bridge into a lake. Stone Cold brought in a truck full of beer, and I think The Rock and Vince McMahon were standing in the ring. I think The Rock escaped that, but Vince got covered in beer. Just so many different things, and Stone Cold was just this icon that took the WWE to a new level, and then they needed someone else to come in and elevate it even more, and The Rock came in at the perfect time. Both of them struggled a long time, too, as wrestlers before that to find their way, which is really interesting that even at this level, it still takes time to develop and find your right path, your right character. But Stone Cold Steve Austin, man, he's my favorite of all time. He always will be. And his rivalry with The Rock, just the smack talk. And I watched a documentary on them as well recently. And some of it was also real. And that's the thing where it blurs the lines between reality and drama, is that these guys are so competitive that they do want to be the best. They do want to be number one. And so Stone Cold comes in, and he's just stunning everyone, drinking beer. And it's like you couldn't have more different guys. Stone Cold is drinking beer, and doing redneck stuff. And The Rock is eating a vegan protein bar or something, and getting a massage every day and going to the spa. So these two opposites made a great rivalry, and their promos were just incredible. The Attitude Era was amazing. They're saying things that now are so wild and insensitive, but were hilarious and great for getting someone to hate you at the time. But the coolest moment ever, though, I think, in WWE history to this day. So a lot of people know Stone Cold suffered an injury, unfortunately, with Owen Hart, which was Bret Hart's brother, where he did a tombstone or a pile driver or something similar, and he messed it up, and he jacked up Stone Cold's neck and spine, which could have ended his career, could have paralyzed him for life. So Stone Cold was dealing with that injury, and he was out for a little while. He came back, out for a little while, and the doctor finally cleared him to you can wrestle, but you can't wrestle much longer. And so after about a year off, The Rock is now the main babyface of the WWE. But The Rock has never beaten Stone Cold at WrestleMania. And so the Stone Cold comes back out of nowhere, and everyone's so happy to see him. And they build this match up. And no one really knows until the last few weeks leading up to it, I guess. But it was going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin's very last match in the WWE. And it's a title, or no, it wasn't a title match. It was a non-title match between Stone Cold and The Rock. But since it was not a title match, and it was Stone Cold's last match, and The Rock was going to continue, which The Rock didn't continue full-time too much longer after that, unfortunately. But The Rock was going to be that next babyface of the company by himself. They had the best match ever. If you watch that match, it's just a classic, iconic match for the Attitude Era style wrestling. And, there's stunners, there's rock bottoms, and then The Rock has to rock bottom him once after beating him up so bad. Stone Cold kicks out. Crowd goes crazy. The Rock hits him a bit more, picks him up, rock bottoms him the second time. 1, 2... shoulders out. Crowd goes crazy. This man will not give up. Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler commentating, just incredible. I get emotional thinking about it and even watching it because this man loves this business. He's given his heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears to this game, and this is his last moment, and he's doing it to put someone over him for the betterment of the business and for the fans. So one final rock bottom, number 3. Boom. 1, 2, 3. The Rock beats Stone Cold for the first time ever at WrestleMania, pushes the referee away, and they exchanged some words together that at the time we didn't know what they were saying, but apparently The Rock was thanking Stone Cold for everything, told him he loved him. Stone Cold said, "I love you too, man." And from that day on, they became incredible friends and just thankful for each other. And now The Rock is one of the biggest movie stars, just one of the biggest personalities of all time. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, even though he didn't become a big actor, everyone knows who Stone Cold Steve Austin is.
Yeah.
So I think those guys really took the WWE from the 20th century into the 21st century, and without them, I don't know where it would be today. So shout out to them. Yeah, I know it also is what got me into wrestling, and so I know you were a little too young to be remembering that, but if you have a chance, man, go back and watch some of it because it is incredible.
I definitely will.
But yeah, I know we're coming on time. Jacob and I both have places we got to be. We're just so busy, so famous. But folks, the WWE is back, Okay, it never really went anywhere, but it is back. If you're not watching, start watching now. The road to WrestleMania is here, and we're excited, and we'll talk a lot more about this moving forward. But yeah.
Can we do our Mount Rushmores before we get out of here?
And then finally, we got some Mount Rushmores, but we got to make it quick because I literally have a meeting soon. So, Jacob, go ahead.
I'm going to start off with a sleeper pick, some may say, but I'm going to go DX, and not all of DX. Shawn Michaels and Triple H, them together. Because for me, like, they were anti-authority, they were anti the business, and now the two of them are running the business. Like, Triple H is head of creative, Shawn Michaels runs NXT. They've both done some incredible work in the ring, out of the ring. So I got to give it to DX. So Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Another one on there, pretty obvious. Been talking about him a lot. The Rock. He's got to be on the Mount Rushmore for me, just because I've seen him a little bit more than Stone Cold, and I've watched a ton of his movies. I've always known him as The Rock, as a wrestler, so he's got to be on my Mount Rushmore. Next one is another very obvious one. My all-time favorite wrestler, the man himself, the man of the hour, John Cena, or as Santino Marella would say it, John Cena. And then my last pick, and I think this one may shock you, may not shock you, but it's gonna be a new era guy, because I think he's done a lot for this new era of WWE, and he's going to continue to do a lot for WWE. Roman Reigns.
Yep.
So that's going to be my Mount Rushmore. DX, The Rock, John Cena, and Roman Reigns.
And again, this is your personal Mount Rushmore,
personal
right?
Mount Rushmore. Like, these are the when I think of wrestling, like, the first four people that pop in my mind are that. Honorable mention has to go to Jeff Hardy and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, incredible. Those are great honorable mentions. Yeah, obviously, like, we're doing our personal Mount Rushmores, so we were not born yet when Hulk Hogan was running the show, guys. Everyone knows, obviously, like, the real Mount Rushmore, you're going to have some classics that we're not around.
You're going to have Hogan and Flair and Bruno Sammartino. And
yeah, so, but for my personal Mount Rushmore, in no particular order, except for the final one that I'll do, I am also going to go with DX, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H in the 2000s era. That was so much fun, so incredible, and just so funny, dude. They were so funny together.
They told us we couldn't say these words anymore, and then list off all the words.
So good. And then, so good, dude. And then when Shawn was, like, kicking everyone, Sweet Chin Music, he was like, I don't know. He's like, I just can't stop. I don't know what's going on. He's like, Shawn, you got to chill out. He's like, I don't know. I can't handle it. Like, watch. What's your name? Steve. Okay, Steve. Boom. Sweet Chin Music, whatever his name was. He just kicked him. They were just so funny together, man. So yeah. DX, definitely The Rock, for sure. Just, the eyebrow raise, like the promos, the whoop your candy, ASS. And
it doesn't matter what you...
Yeah. He's like, oh, what do you think about this? It doesn't matter what you... Just everything he did was amazing on the mic. And to this day, as the final boss character is just, he's crushing it, man. Like, there's nothing corny about The Rock to me. I know, like, people that hate on him, like, it's just, I don't know how you can hate on him. But John Cena, for sure. Don't even need to talk about it. Greatest running champion of all time. Longest lasting babyface of all time. Like, no one's done what he's done.
He's a GOAT.
Got to be the GOAT for sure. But my personal GOAT, just for me and wrestling and everything, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Love that man forever. And also, I'm going to be bald one day, so... I'm trying my best to look like him. If I can just connect this one day, maybe get some work done, get a better jaw, and then get jacked on steroids and stuff. But Stone Cold Steve Austin, man, that dude got me into wrestling. I would pretend to do a beer bash. I'd have my grandma throw me some Pepsis. Like, I pretend I'm doing a beer bash in her living room, and she'd be like, I don't know what's going on, but don't spill that Pepsi on my carpet. And so, shout out to Stone Cold Steve Austin. But yeah, DX, The Rock, Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin. When I think WWE, if I could have, like, an amazing WrestleMania, like an ideal of everyone in their prime, it would honestly probably be a triple threat match between Cena, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels, and then a main event of The Rock and Stone Cold.
Dude, when they actually did that match, and it starts, and they're still in DX, and the match starts, and he's Sweet Chin Music's Triple H out of the ring, like,
it was just incredible. And even John Cena, like, it was incredible. But yeah, folks, we love the WWE. Today we were able to cover the heel turn, some of the best rivalries of all time, and our personal Mount Rushmore. For those of you that don't listen to wrestling, or watch wrestling, what are you even doing with your life? But before we go, let's do some plugs real quick. I'll go first, selfishly. On top of Half Brothers Pod, I do a lot of comedy in the city, and I'm trying to get my YouTube channel more active. So if you guys could follow me at Glenn Tyler TV on YouTube. I'm interviewing New York City comedians, and we'll hopefully have some sketches and stand-up clips there soon. Jacob does some other stuff as well, some personal training, some soccer, some other things. Jacob, you have anything to plug coming up? Any soccer games where the fans could come watch you as well? Is that open to the public?
It is open to the public, but don't come watch me.
Yeah.
And do not go follow me on Instagram. It is not _hoppy hops on Instagram, and I am not going to help you get in better shape, learn how to float ropes, and be able to play with your kids.
Yeah. Jacob, by the way, does a lot of great fitness work and stuff, and so hopefully we'll see some of that hoppy YouTube stuff coming back. I was watching your old YouTube channel the other day, just like checking. I was like, wow, you have grown up a lot, man. But you should get back into it. You're really good at it, and I think you have a lot to offer this world. So, and also, selfishly, if you do fitness stuff, I will just watch your videos, and it will help me, so I don't have to text you all the time and bother you. So, help us out, man. Give us some free fitness content, and then eventually we'll pay you for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start.
Get on it, brother. I know you're playing soccer all the time, but you should also post some soccer clips. I'd love to see some highlights, and I know the fan listening would as well.
Yeah, well, Nutter's there, so he knows what happens.
Oh, okay, great, cool. Alrighty, well, Jake, this has been fun. Any final thoughts?
Make sure you stay tuned for next week's episode. Don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but it should be a good one. And then make sure you come back the week before Mania. We're going to give our whole WrestleMania card predictions for both Saturday and Sunday and kind of just deep dive into it. So if you're a WWE fan, stay tuned for that one.
We're having a delay here. I didn't mean to interrupt. It looked like you were done talking on my screen. I also think this is an idea I'm talking about to Jacob about in real time. We might even do a live stream WrestleMania reaction after the show, depending on if we want to.
I'd be down.
Just an idea. Who knows? Live stream on YouTube, put WWE WrestleMania reaction. A lot of people are going to be looking at that time. Could be a great way to get a lot of people to follow us because we want attention.
Could be.
All righty, Jacob, I love you, brother. God bless you, man. I will talk to you soon. Folks, until next time, this has been the Half Brothers Podcast.